Have you ever looked at someone else's life and wondered why your journey looks nothing like theirs? Why they seem to have everything figured out while you're still navigating detours, setbacks, and moments that make absolutely no sense at all? Here's something nobody tells you early enough. Your path was never supposed to look like theirs. And the moment you truly understand that, everything changes. Welcome. Today we're diving deep into something that touches every single one of us, and that is the reality that your path differs for a reason. Not by accident, not because life is being unfair to you, but because the specific combination of experiences, challenges, gifts, and circumstances that make up your journey are building something in you that a smoother, more conventional road simply never could. By the time we're done here, you won't just understand this concept intellectually. You'll feel it, and more importantly, you'll know exactly how to use it. But first, subscribe to our channel. Let's start with something honest. Comparison is one of the most natural things a human being can do. We are wired to look around, assess where we stand, and measure our progress against the people we see every day. Social media has turned this instinct into an absolute obsession. You scroll through someone's highlight reel, and suddenly your own journey feels inadequate. Your timeline feels too slow. Your accomplishments feel too small. And the questions start creeping in. Why am I not further along? Why does this feel so hard? But here's what you're actually doing when you compare your path to someone else's. You're comparing your internal experience to their external presentation. You're measuring your full story, with all its complexity and struggle and beauty, against a carefully curated snapshot. That comparison will never be fair, and chasing a path that was designed for someone else's destination will only pull you further from your own. So let's talk about what actually makes your path different, and why those differences are not weaknesses. They are your greatest advantages waiting to be activated. The first element is your backstory. Every challenge you've faced, every difficult chapter you've lived through, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it through has deposited something inside you. Resilience, perspective, depth of character that people who haven't faced those challenges simply don't carry. Think about the most impactful people you've ever encountered. The mentor who genuinely understood your struggle. The leader whose words hit differently because you could tell they had actually been through something real. Their power didn't come from a perfect path. It came from a tested one. Your backstory is not a liability. It is the source material for everything meaningful you're going to build. The second element is your specific wiring, your natural tendencies, the way your mind processes problems, the things that energize you versus drain you, the instincts you were born with and the ones you've developed over time. These are not random. They point towards something. Most people spend years trying to override their natural wiring in order to fit into systems and expectations that were never designed for them. They try to be someone they're not in careers they don't love, performing identities that feel hollow, wondering why success feels empty even when they technically achieve it. The path that's right for you will align with who you actually are, not who you think you're supposed to be. Now here's where self-awareness becomes everything. And I want to be direct about this because it's one of those things people nod at without actually doing. Self-awareness is not just knowing your strengths. It's knowing the full picture. It's understanding your triggers, your blind spots, the stories you've been telling yourself that are holding you back, and the patterns you keep repeating, hoping for a different outcome. Real self-awareness is sometimes uncomfortable. It requires you to look at yourself honestly and ask hard questions. Where am I operating from fear instead of genuine choice? What am I tolerating that I shouldn't be? What do I keep waiting for permission to pursue? When you get honest with yourself, you start making decisions that are actually aligned with your real path, rather than decisions that are designed to manage other people's opinions of you. That shift is massive. That shift is where your path starts becoming truly yours. Let's talk about timing for a moment, because this is where a lot of people get lost. Society has given us these invisible timelines. You're supposed to have certain things figured out by certain ages. Career stability, relationships, financial milestones, a general sense of having it together. And when your journey doesn't match those timelines, it's easy to internalize that as failure. But timing on your path is not arbitrary. There are things you will be ready for in 3 years that you are absolutely not ready for right now. There are connections you'll make, opportunities that will open, versions of yourself that will emerge, but only after you've done the work that the current season of your life requires. Rushing someone else's timeline is like trying to harvest a crop before it's grown. You don't get more food faster. You just ruin what was being built. Trust your season. Do the work your current chapter is asking of you, even when you don't fully understand why yet. The understanding comes later, and it always makes sense in retrospect. Here's something that might actually surprise you. The detours are often the most important parts. The thing that seemed like a massive setback, the path that didn't work out, the version of the plan that completely fell apart. Very often those moments are redirections towards something more aligned with who you actually are and where you actually need to go. This doesn't mean every failure is secretly a blessing wrapped in disguise. Some things are just hard and genuinely difficult. But within those experiences, if you're paying attention, there are almost always lessons, redirections, and unexpected openings that a straight and easy path would never have provided. The people who've built truly meaningful lives almost universally share this in common. They didn't just survive their detours. They learned to extract value from them. They asked what this is teaching them rather than only asking why this is happening to them. That's a different posture. That's a posture that keeps you growing even through genuinely difficult circumstances. Now let's bring this into practical territory because inspiration without application doesn't actually change anything. First, audit your comparisons. When you notice yourself measuring your path against someone else's, pause and ask what you're actually comparing. Are you comparing your beginning to their middle? Your struggle to their success? That's not a useful data point. Instead, ask what you can learn from their journey without using it as evidence that yours is insufficient. Second, document your own progress. One of the reasons comparison feels so devastating is that we often don't track how far we've actually come. Start keeping a record of your growth. Not just achievements, but moments where you handled something better than you would have a year ago. Where you chose differently. Where you showed up for yourself. Your path has more evidence of progress than you're currently giving it credit for. Third, define success on your own terms. Seriously, write it down. Not the success that other people would approve of, not the success that looks impressive on paper, but the kind of life that would genuinely feel meaningful and fulfilling to you personally. When you're clear on that, you stop chasing paths that were never headed toward a destination you actually want. Fourth, invest in relationships with people who understand the value of an unconventional path. The people around you shape how you see yourself and your journey more than almost anything else. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your growth rather than question your timeline. And finally, give yourself permission to be exactly where you are while also working toward where you want to go. Those two things are not in conflict. You can be at peace with your current season and deeply committed to your growth at the same time. Actually, that combination is exactly what makes sustainable progress possible. Your path differs for a reason. Every unusual turn, every unexpected challenge, every moment that didn't look like the plan has been building something in you that a conventional, predictable road simply never could. The unique combination of your experiences, your wiring, your perspective, and your specific journey is preparing you for something that requires exactly what you've been through. Stop apologizing for a path that looks different. Stop treating your individuality as a problem to be solved. Start seeing it as the very thing that makes you capable of a contribution, a life, and a legacy that nobody else can replicate. Your path is yours. Honor it, work it, trust it. The destination it's heading toward was made specifically for who you are becoming, and that is worth every single step of the journey. If you got value from this video, like it and subscribe to our channel.